So hopefully by now you've got a basic understanding of perspective and the relevant terms, and you'll understand perspective is a system of drawing which artists use to create the illusion of distance in their work. You'll understand the concept of an eye level or a horizon line, and the sense that parallel lines will go to the horizon. So a road is obviously equal distance all the way along the road, but it just appears to be getting narrower and disappearing on the horizon line in the distance. And the area or the point where the road disappears is called the vanishing point. Again, one can draw pavement, or one can even draw a series of buildings, houses, which also not only get smaller but get narrower. So those are the roofs of the houses, and one can put in even an additional guideline for doorways. And we know the doors are all the same size, and guidelines for example, should be doing this with a ruler, of course, but guidelines for windows, etc. What we're going to do for this lesson is we're going to take the knowledge we have about perspective, which we've gained from watching a variety of videos, for example, and doing our 2-point perspective heading. Now, if we look at these two examples, you have one example here which is very well done, but he hasn't done the sides of the lettering, for example, these sections, and I don't know why he's coloured in these back sections. Whereas here, you've got somebody who hasn't coloured in these back sections, so has done those correctly, but hasn't done the sides going back far enough. And this section here, the side of the letter P, doesn't go back where it should do. So there's a few errors in these. But as I said, what we're going to do this lesson is we're going to take our knowledge of perspective and try and apply it to a real situation, which is going to be using this worksheet, and starting off by trying to do a copy of the normal viewpoint down the street. As you can see, there are 3 street scenes showing different viewpoints. So here this individual is looking down the street and he's just standing in the middle of the road. So the eye level or the horizon line is normal height. So for example, his head height is just a bit lower than the top of the door where you'd expect it to be. On this high viewpoint, you can see he's standing on a ladder. So in other words, it makes his eye level or the horizon line probably about 8 foot high because he's up a ladder. So therefore, the eye level is above the height of the door. And here he's lying in the street. So his eye level is probably only about 2 foot off the ground. So if you consider it from the point of view of how high up his eye level is compared to this door, it's very low down. And obviously in this one too, one can see the underside of this building because it's a low eye level. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw these pictures. We're going to start off with a normal viewpoint, and we are going to try to draw this picture approximately double the size. What I will do to save a little bit of time in the video, 1, I won't use a ruler for every line, which you should do. And 2, I will use a fine liner so you can see it a bit more clearly on the video. So for example, if we look first of all, I would probably start off because I think, one, it's a bit easier, and two, I'm right-handed. I'd start off at this side. So here we have the door just above the eye level, and we have the front of the building, which is horizontal, and then we have the top of that part of the building. And then all of these lines will go to the vanishing point. So we have that one, we have that one, and we have that one. Now there are obviously these dotted lines which show guidance, but you might have to draw in some yourself. So for example, if we look here, work out how far it goes. So that and that is the same angle. And then obviously this is, again, excuse me, not using a ruler, that obviously is the width of that building. And when it comes to drawing this window on the side of the building, again, the top and bottom, because they are parallel lines which go away from us towards the vanishing point, are drawn accurately. So then the next thing would be to do is to draw the side of this building. And obviously, if you look, that comes up quite high into the picture. Again, of course, if we were using a ruler, we would make sure these are perfectly straight. So that angle and that angle is the same. So that's that building. And of course, if we were using a pencil, we could rub out these extra lines we've drawn a little bit long. So then these corners would go to the vanishing point. Etc. And then look at the width of this house. It's a bit narrow, so probably to there. The angle of that is the same, which is the slant of the roof. And even down to the fact that you've got the side of the chimney, and this ends at that would line up to the vanishing point too. And again, I can use these guidelines for the two windows upstairs in the house, which then would go to the vanishing point and then do the door. So those are the way you build up the picture. Remember, the front side of the building, I don't mean the front side in the sense of this, I mean the side facing towards you is done flat on, not in perspective, but it's the corners of the sides of the buildings which go to the vanishing point. And again, I can put in, and I could have done this first, but I can put in my side of my pavement, and then I can put in this pavement goes down to there about, I think. So that pavement goes to about there. Then obviously that's a pavement, that's a road, and we've got a few more windows and doors to finish off these. So for example, some people might try to do the corner of those go into the vanishing point, but because they are flat on towards you, this side of the building is facing you, these are just horizontal and vertical, whereas these are vertical, but the sides, the horizontal lines go to the vanishing point.